How we doing, guys? And it's finished. Atalanta 0, Arsenal 0. And that was one of the most boring performances I've ever had to endure. Before the game, we're looking at this and we're thinking, do you know what? There's going to be a lot of goals in this game. Atalanta have been conceding a lot in Serie A. We're capable of scoring them. It's going to be an entertaining game. And do you know what? It was an absolute snooze fest. That was one of the worst performances from Arsenal in terms of their ball retention and passing ability. And quite simply, it was the defence and David Raya in particular that saved us from losing that game. That save from David Raya from the penalty, oh my word. To put it quite simply, that save was better than David Seaman's. We all know the save that I'm on about against Sheffield United in the FA Cup. That save tonight was better. The penalty and the way he got up and the way he saved that and clawed it off the line. Absolutely world class. Defensively, we never put a foot wrong. Gabriel, Saliba, solid as a rock. David Raya, solid as a rock. But from the midfield to the attack, absolutely pitiful. Every single player, pitiful. It was wasted passes. It was sloppy. It was lazy. And do you know what it felt like? That they did have Sunday on their mind. That's what it felt like to me. Do the minimum tonight because your eye is on Sunday against Man City. And I know it's very easy to sit here and say that you have to take one game at a time. And that 90 minutes that I watched there, that's what it looked like to me. That there was no focus on this and everything was on that. Because we were so wasteful. Our possession, the passing. Trossard came on in the second half. I felt he picked up some excellent positions. But his passing was something that you would see on a local park pitch. It was dreadful. 5-yard passes. Flying past people. And I tell you what, games like this show to all of those Arsenal fans that criticise and berate Martin Odegaard. Now you realise how much a bunch of dickheads you actually are. Because it's very evident how important he is to us. And I know it's only been 2 games so far, but Ben White doesn't look the same. Bukayo Saka had a very, very quiet night. I think at the start of the second half, the commentator said that he had the second least touches in the first half. And it was difficult, for the wingers to get into the game in the way that Atalanta set up. But that was such a quiet evening by his standards. And he was hooked quite early. And again, I feel that a lot of that is with Sunday in mind. Calafiori, when he came on, there was some good moments, some little breaks into those inverted areas that I like the look of. Kai Havertz in that midfield, it doesn't work. It didn't work tonight. He's no threat as he is in the forward positions. Gabriel Jesus, absolutely horrendous tonight. Martinelli again in the final third, horrendous. The best chance of the game, second half, set up by Sterling. Great through ball. Martinelli at least hit the target. You nearly hit it out of the stadium. Absolutely abysmal finishing. Terrible. The moment that Martinelli has a chance in front of goal, I already sit there and I'm like, it's Martinelli. Ain't going in. He had one in the first half. where he gets an opportunity inside the box and the shot flies miles over. Abysmal. Absolutely abysmal. So yeah, just not good at all. Thomas Partey, the way he got spun for the penalty, absolutely terrible. And I don't even know why VAR took so long to actually determine that it was a penalty. It was a penalty. He had his hands all over him and he clipped his calf. Anybody can see it. It's a clear penalty. And they're sitting there for ages, debating it, and then finally giving it. And I'm sitting there like, what's taking you so long? Was it to do with the fact that you might have started outside the penalty area? Was that, why it took so long? Nah, clear penalty all day long. In terms of the statistics, only 2 shots on target. We only had 46% possession. Touches in the opposition box, only 9. That is so unlike us. We only had 2 corners tonight. Probably why we couldn't score, because we didn't get many corners. But it was just all round a very, very poor performance. Now, don't get me wrong. Atalanta are a good side. It's a tough place to go. Despite their form and indifferences in Serie A, they're a good side. They've got a good manager who sets up really well. I thought Lookman was kept very quiet, considering he is the danger man. But that had very much Porto written all over it. That's what it felt like. The difference is, of course, we didn't, concede with the last kick of the game. But it was feeling very much like Porto all over again. And there's not going to be a lot of teams that you face in the Champions League that do play in such a defensive way in that sense. But yeah, we need to do more going forward. We need to, be more assertive, more authoritative in the final third. Missing Odegaard big time. But yeah, Havertz dropping in, Jesus, Martinelli dreadful, Saka quiet, Trossard when he come on couldn't make a 5-yard pass. It was just all round abysmal. If we play like that in an attacking sense on Sunday, we won't get nothing. And we can't keep asking our defenders and goalkeeper to bail us out and keep clean sheets. We've got to start delivering at that end. It's as simple as that. So it's game week 1, Champions League, new format. We take the point, given the fact it's away from home in the middle of Spurs and Manchester City. But for me, that's one that you write off. We won't be looking at no highlights reel. We won't be remembering that game with any fondness. We just erase it from our memory. A bit like the film Men in Black. When he has the little thing and he just erase your memory. Done, dust it, let's forget about it. And we move on to Sunday. Big game. It's as simple as that. So we need to rest, recuperate. Ain't much of a turnaround with the whole Thursday night thing. But listen, it is what it is. We've got to move on. Listen. Let me know in the comments section what you thought about that game. Do you agree or disagree with my thoughts? There's the preview to the Man City game coming out very soon as well. And listen, if you're new around here, hit the subscribe button, smash a like on this video, and I will see you lot soon. I'm out of here.